Hi, so to further to the last video, and a couple of things that I forgot to mention. So the first thing is that, I've actually seen some really, some moments of grace, compassion, mercy, kindness from the people who've been targeting me. I've seen them, don't get me wrong, I've been through a heck of a lot of trauma. But I've also seen I've had some moments of connection and moments which have really spurred me on, okay? Just not in some weird sort of, how can I say it? Like, as some people call transference. It's not like that, because before they targeted me, I very much had the approach of trying to forgive people, be compassionate towards people, to see the other side of things, okay? Again, that's not me virtue signaling, because we all, again, I don't see it that way. It's just a process that I've been through, and everybody is beautiful, okay? But I have seen these people, I've had moments where they've shown me sides to themselves which have affirmed my faith in these things, okay? In the fact that people are more than their character, the way they've been caricatured, the way that they've been portrayed through the lens of, again, being perceived as part of through the lens of their monolith. So, intelligence, for instance, or military. They're more than that, okay? And those things are what can redeem us, redeem each other. Help us to redeem each other in stressful situations, is to hold on to the fact that people, are worth investing in, and they can surprise us in many ways. That if you scrub away, if you give people a little trust and faith, they can surprise you, and even people who've been told that they are hideous and evil and sociopathic and whatever, they can surprise you too if you give them a little faith. If you show them that you believe in them, or if you show that you believe in the good in them, okay? You just do a little scrub, a little dust off, show them a little kindness, a little love, or just hang in there with them, and they can show you some pretty remarkable things, because deep down that's the truth of who we are. And people come into this world for all sorts of reasons, and I think, everybody has a purpose, and everything happens as it only can, okay? But within that, there's a soul, and there is more to people than we allow ourselves to believe sometimes, okay? So, and also within ourselves. So that's one thing, okay? So again, it might surprise people for me to say, but I don't really care, frankly, okay? I'm used to being on the outside of things. I'm quite happy to be in my little camp on this matter, okay? I know, because I know what it's like to be misjudged. I know what it's like to be judged, okay? I know what it's like for people to make the wrong assumptions about who you are. I know what it's like to be against the ropes in that sense. I know what it's like to lead a life that other people don't understand, and I know what it's like to go through some tough times as well. And in that sense, I have a lot of compassion for them, okay? And so, but also, I just think the message of what I'm trying to say is that not to give up on people if you can help it, or yourself, because people can surprise you, okay? And these people in this network, they're human beings, and they have hearts, okay? And deep down, we all have this beautiful, rich soul that's sort of bubbling, and but like I said, but it's covered in sort of like a silt almost of psychic barnacles. Not silt, so like a layer of psychic barnacles, which we've gathered over the course of our lives, which are telling us we're this and this and that. And we all have them. I have them. Everyone has them. Okay. So again, I'm not saying that I'm some sort of perfect being here, because I'm not that at all. I have to fight every day in lots of different ways. But I'm just sharing, because this has been the road that I've been on. I have to share what I've seen for these people. I feel like, again, even though I don't blame them for them being in the position they've been in, and for targeting me. I forgive them. They don't even need to forgive them, because I know that it's not their fault. Okay, and the thing is that I'm happy to give back to them in that sense, by supporting trying to get people to see both themselves and these people and wider society in this lens, okay? Because I believe it can work. I really do. Honestly, I really believe it can work. It's not about sounding smug and self-righteous, because like I said, I've got plenty of things that I need to deal with, plenty of times a day where I think, oh, I wish I hadn't said that, or I wish I'd done this differently, or wish I could have, I wish I'd remembered this, or I failed to do this on the right time and I let this person down. And there's loads of things that I don't get right in a day, loads of things. But thanks to, again, sometimes from these people, even like the kindness and the insight of these people, some moments of connection, like I said, that again have inspired me. And I know that sounds really odd, it almost sounds like Stockholm syndrome, but it isn't, okay? It really isn't. It's genuine. It's a genuine response to, again, a shared oppression that I think we have, okay, in lots of ways. In lots of ways I empathize with them, but I see that their oppression is my oppression, and my oppression, and it's also a collective issue, okay? It's something we can all be concerned with. Yeah, so there's that. And I was going to mention something else, and it's dropped out of my mind. My memory is terrible at the moment. It's so bad. But I think, I think that's pretty much it, really. I think in terms of, I think I'm trying to soften the edges of this a bit. Again, there are plenty of people who, well, the vast majority of people on this planet are not going to have a clue about what I've just said, and that's fine. But I have to try and put forward a different case. And all my life I've been called the devil's advocate in that sense, or like also sort of a devil's advocate in some ways. Again, I don't, not that I am, but I've kind of always batted for the underdog in that sense, and because I have been an underdog a lot of times in my life, and I think if I can see, and we've all had that feeling, haven't we? And I think it would help us tremendously if we could just see again the common threads. Your oppression is my oppression, your peace is my peace, that sort of thing. To form connections in unexpected places, to see those connections, to see those commonalities, those underlying things, and that can lead you to deeper insights, so to speak, about who we really are, okay, about who our true nature, and then maybe even reveal our connection to all that is, source, our God, our creator. So like I said, I'm not preaching at you, okay? I'm just sharing what I found useful, because I know, believe me, I respect and I know that we all follow things the only way we can, and it may just be that you think I'm talking absolute nonsense, and you think that things should be a certain way and done in a certain manner, okay? And that's absolutely fine. That's obviously your prerogative, and I understand, and there are lots of reasons why people do that, okay? So I'm not trying to, but again, I've seen the benefits of these approaches, and it's not just that, it's the fact that it doesn't belong to me, because like I said, I've been inspired in many ways by other people in this situation. A lot of their insights, a lot of their, again, weirdly enough, their generosity, their compassion, their time, and the odd glimmers here and there, okay, of their humanity that they've allowed me to see, but I've and have really inspired me again, okay? But also other people in my life as well. So this is my way of giving back, okay? This is me trying to give something back in that sense as well, okay? And it's the right thing to do, because this is the situation I'm in, okay? And I know this is truth, So again, I hope that this sort of ties in nicely with the last video. Again, I'm trying to soften things, and like, if I possibly can, in people's minds about these people, look at it from a consciousness and compassion compassionate lens, you know, perspective, okay, that we're all victims in this, we're all contributors in this, we all have a part to play in the solution, if we choose to accept that, and, you know, to come out of a sense of helplessness, okay, that we're all God's children, that there's a reason for everything, okay, and that none of us are condemned. None of us are condemned, okay? And that's come through to me very clearly. None of us are condemned, okay? All right, so again, I hope this video has been useful to you, and I will catch you again very soon. Thanks.